Before sunrise, when the sky was still a pale gray and the city breathed quietly, Rafik pushed his wooden cart out of a narrow lane. The cart creaked the same way it had for years, a soft complaint that Rafik knew well. He tied a cloth around his head, adjusted the old sweater on his shoulders, and began walking toward the market. The air smelled of damp earth and distant tea stalls. For Rafik, this hour felt honest. No noise, no rush, just the promise of another day. Rafik was a vegetable seller, known by many faces but truly known by few. He sold tomatoes that shone like small suns, spinach bundled neatly with twine, and potatoes still dusted with soil. His wife, Salma, had woken before him to pack the vegetables, wiping each one clean and slipping a small note into his pocket with a short prayer written in careful letters. Their daughter, Amina, slept curled under a thin blanket, dreaming of school books and white chalk. By the time Rafik reached the market, the sky had warmed to blue. Stalls opened like flowers. Knives tapped on wooden boards. Vendors called out prices and voices made rough by years of dawns like this. Rafik arranged his vegetables with care, lining colors side by side. He believed people could feel respect in the way things were placed. When customers came, he greeted them gently, never shouting, never arguing. If someone was short of money, he weighed a little extra and smiled as if nothing was missing. Business was never easy. Some days, rain kept people indoors. Some days, prices fell without warning. Rafik counted coins every evening and planned carefully. He saved what he could in a small metal box hidden behind stacked pots at home. Salma never complained. When food was simple, she made it warm. When clothes were old, she washed them bright. At night, Rafik helped Amina with her lessons, tracing letters with his finger while she read aloud, her voice steady and proud. One afternoon, the market buzzed with a different energy. A tall man in a clean shirt walked slowly between stalls, observing, asking questions. He stopped at Rafik's cart and picked up a tomato, turning it in his hand. "These are fresh," the man said. Rafik nodded. "From the fields outside the city. Picked yesterday." The man asked about prices, about suppliers, about waste. Rafik answered simply, honestly. When the man reached for his wallet, Rafik stopped him. "Please," Rafik said, selecting a small bag. "Take these. No charge." The man looked surprised. "Why?" Rafik shrugged. "You asked with respect." The man smiled, thanked him, and left. Rafik returned to his work, thinking no more of it. Weeks passed. The weather turned harsh, and sales grew slow. One evening, Rafik returned home with an unsold bundle of spinach. Salma cooked it with lentils, stretching the meal. That night, as rain drummed on the roof, Rafik worried quietly. School fees were due. The metal box felt lighter than before. The next morning, a small envelope waited on Rafik's cart. Inside was a note and a card. The note read, "You reminded me that honesty still lives in the market. If you are willing, come see me." The card carried the name of the man from that afternoon and an address across the city. Rafik hesitated, then decided to go after the market closed. The building at the address was bright and modern. Inside, the man greeted him warmly. He explained that he managed a cooperative that helped small sellers improve storage, reduce waste, and reach more customers. He had watched Rafik's stall since that day, noticed how people trusted him, how he treated others. "I want partners who care," the man said. "Not just sellers." Rafik listened carefully. He did not promise anything quickly. He asked about risks, about time, about fairness. The man answered without hurry. They agreed to start small. Rafik would receive better crates and access to a cold room. In return, he would keep quality high and prices fair. Change came slowly, then steadily. Vegetables stayed fresh longer. Waste decreased. Customers returned more often. Rafik learned to keep simple records, counting not just coins but patterns. Salma helped in the evenings, noting sales. Amina watched closely, curious and proud. Soon, other sellers noticed. They asked questions. Rafik shared what he knew. He showed them how to handle produce gently, how to shade tomatoes from the sun, how to speak calmly even when tired. The market grew quieter, kinder. Buyers lingered. Months later, A small sign appeared above Rafiq's stall, painted by Amina's careful hand. It bore their family name and a simple promise: fresh, fair, honest. Rafiq felt something loosen in his chest when he saw it. Not pride alone, but peace. One evening, as the sky turned orange and the market packed away, Rafiq counted the day's earnings. He set aside the school fees without fear. At home, Salma brewed tea, and Amina spread her books on the floor, explaining a science lesson with excitement. Rafiq listened, nodding, learning alongside her. Years passed. Rafiq's cart became a small shop. The shop became a hub for the neighborhood. When floods came, they donated vegetables. When prices rose, they adjusted fairly. Rafiq never forgot the early mornings or the weight of uncertainty. He kept the old wooden cart at the back, its creak a reminder. On a quiet morning, long after sunrise, Rafiq stood at the doorway of his shop, watching the market wake. The air still smelled of earth and tea. He understood then that the unbelievable part of his story was not luck or sudden wealth. It was the steady choice to be honest when it was hard, to be patient when it was slow, and to be kind when it cost something. Rafiq turned the sign to open, and the day began, simple and full, just like the life he had built one careful step at a time.